Hello, welcome back, and thanks for watching. So before I get into the stats from across the country, and I'm talking right across the country this week, I want to talk about how I feel like I've been taken, I've been lied to. Of course, we know, and you can leave it in the comments below. Many agents and many people just in the industry have talked about how when rate cuts happened, prices were going to skyrocket, the market was going to go insane. And I feel it just didn't happen. And we'll find out later in the stats. And here's just a couple of articles with the same narrative that I'm talking about from earlier in the year. From the Financial Post on March 17th, St. Patrick's Day, home buyers should jump into the market before interest rates go down, says expert. Housing market to heat up once Bank of Canada starts cutting rates. And of course, this is the expert here. I'm not going to name anybody. Home buyers who are already pre-approved for a mortgage should enter the housing market now instead of waiting for interest rates to go down, according to one industry expert. And another one from our favorite market analyst, the CEO of Royal LePage. Spring will be pivotal moment for housing market, Royal LePage CEO says. Royal LePage CEO Phil Soper said in a statement Tuesday that the Bank of Canada's rate hike pause in the spring of 2023 drove consumer confidence higher, pushing up sales activity this time last year. I expect a similar wave of buyer demand at the first indication that highly expected cuts by the central bank are on the horizon, Soper said in a statement. And that was from February this year. So as you may know, it's been just over a month. We've had the majority of June since that first rate cut happened and the market was about to explode. So let's look at some of the news releases from the real estate boards in no particular order to see what they're saying about their June statistics. From the Fraser Valley Real Estate Board, Fraser Valley home sales fall despite Bank of Canada rate cut. The policy rate cut of 25 basis points by the Bank of Canada on June 5th was not enough to rally home sales in the Fraser Valley last month. And from the Vancouver Real Estate Board, just released in early July, market shifting in buyers' favor, though hesitation remains. Metro Vancouver home sales registered on the MLS remained below seasonal and historical averages in June, with reduced competition among buyers. Inventory has continued to accumulate to levels not seen since the spring of 2019. Wow, this real estate market really seems like it's headed to the moon right now. From the Calgary Real Estate Board, June sales decline amid supply challenges and rising prices. There's a lot of people going to learn a tough lesson in Calgary still, but sales are declining even though prices are up. And from Edmonton, home sales slow while prices remain strong. Very similar to the Calgary market. Now over to the East Coast, Nova Scotia Association of Realtors. Nova Scotia MLS home sales and new listings cool slightly in June. Next, from the biggest real estate association by far in Canada, the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, June 2024 home sales in the Greater Toronto Area were lower compared to the same month last year, according to the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board. Despite the Bank of Canada rate cut at the beginning of last month, many buyers kept their home purchase decisions on hold. The market remained well supplied, resulting in a slight dip in the average selling price compared to June 2023. And another major area in Ontario, the Hamilton-Burlington Association of Realtors. Sales in June continued declining compared to the previous month and the same period last year, with 835 sales recorded this month. They remain below long-term averages and are consistent with the lower figures observed in recent years. This slowdown in sales is evident across all property types and in every area within the region. So I think it's safe to say that real estate prices and sales didn't go to the moon like predicted by far too many uninformed people, I should say, and things are progressing the way they should be. I've made my own predictions and forecasts, and by no means am I perfect, but we're trending in the right direction still, and things are slowing, unemployment's rising, all the rest of those things. Anyway, let's get into the stats for the month of June from across the country, starting with the percent change from the peak. Woodstock, Ingersoll down almost 25%. Cambridge down 23.5%. Durham region, big area, down 23.3%. Southern Georgian Bay down 23% or just under 23%. Grey Bruce, Owen Sound, same thing, just under 23%. Peterborough down almost 22%. Brantford down 21.6, Kitchener-Waterloo 21%, Fraser Valley down 21%, Windsor-Essex down almost 21%, Guelph down 21% almost, Peel region just under 20%, Berrien District down 18% from the peak, Halton region down 18% from the peak, London St. Thomas down 18% from the peak, Hamilton Burlington down 16.4%, Chilliwack District 14.5%, Niagara region where I'm from 14.3%, Kingston and area down 11%, Victoria down 10%, York 10%, Ottawa down almost 10%, 9.5%, Okanagan 8.3%, Lakelands down 6.5%, Toronto down 5.9%, New Brunswick just 3.2%, Edmonton down 0.6%, and Greater Vancouver pretty much even, just down a touch there. So places that are still making all-time highs, not by much, but they're still making them. Province of Quebec up 0.6%, Montreal up 1.2%, Saskatchewan up 1.2%, Calgary up 1.8%, and Newfoundland and Labrador steals the show. They're up 2.6% from their all-time high, which was in February 2024. Translating that into dollar values, there's a lot of places with over $200,000 losses, including Durham region, $287,000 down, Halton, $278,000, Fraser Valley, $270,000, Peel, $260,000, Georgian Bay, $253,000, Cambridge, $246,000, Guelph, $220,000, Kitchener, $212,000 down, Woodstock, Ingersoll, $212,000 down, Brantford, $198,000 down. These are huge losses, guys, and we haven't even started in a bear market. It's just been trending sideways. This is insane. Peterborough down 192,000, Berrien District down 185, Grey Bruce Owen Sound down 181, Hamilton Burlington down 172, York down 163, Windsor Essex down 149, London St. Thomas down 148, Chilliwack District down 131,000, Niagara region down 125,000, Victoria down 117,000, Kingston and area down 87,000, Toronto down 74, Ottawa down 71, Lakelands, Muskoka area down 69, Okanagan down 62, New Brunswick down 11,000, Nova Scotia down 8,000, Edmonton down 2,000, Greater Vancouver down 1,000. And here are the places again that made new all-time highs in June. Province of Quebec up 3,000, Saskatchewan up 4,000, Montreal up 7,000, Newfoundland and Labrador up 8,000, and Calgary up 11,000 over their all-time high. Now looking at the month-to-month price changes from May to June this year, and more places are down than they are up, which is again just a general trend in the market, further verifying that prices did not go to the moon this month or in June once those rate cuts happened. So down the most, Peterborough down 7%, same with Chilliwack District, Fraser Valley down 5.2% month over month, Okanagan down 4.9% month over month, Grey Bruce Owen Sound down 4.6%, Cambridge down 3%, and down Guelph, New Brunswick, Kitchener-Waterloo, Toronto 2.2%, Woodstock Ingersoll just down 1%, same with Nova Scotia, Victoria around 1%, Windsor Essex 0.7, Halton region 0.6, Ottawa 0.6, Edmonton 0.6, Peel 0.4. So not very big losses here, but they're still flat at best. Then you get down into the month-over-month increases. Southern Georgian Bay up 0.6%. Saskatchewan up 1.2%. Montreal up 1.2%. These are also the same as the all-time highs. Niagara region, though, not an all-time high, up 1.6% month-over-month. Calgary up 1.8% month-over-month. Kingston and area up 1.9% month-over-month. London St. Thomas up 2.6%. Lakelands, Muskoka up 3.7%, Brantford up 4.1%, Newfoundland and Labrador up 4.3%, York up 6.4%, big gains in York, but they also had big losses the month before, and Berrien District up 6.5%. So you can see the biggest gains are actually smaller than the biggest losses. The biggest loss at 7% and the biggest gains at 6.4%. And lastly, we have the market balance, the sales to new listings ratio. How are these markets doing? Buyer's market, balance market, and seller's markets. So starting with the buyer's market, mostly in Ontario, Southern Georgian Bay, Toronto, Peel, York, Niagara, Barrie, Windsor, Essex, Halton, Durham, Peterborough, and Fraser Valley is the only outlier that are in buyer's markets or technical buyer's markets based on this ratio. Balanced markets, you can see them lined up there. Lakelands, Interior BC, Okanagan, Greater Vancouver, Victoria, Newfoundland, and Labrador, Chilliwack, Woodstock, Brantford, Grey Bruce, Owen Sound, Kitchener, Cambridge, Newfoundland, Labrador, Guelph, Kingston and area, Ottawa are all in balanced markets. And in the seller's market, you have most of the usual suspects with the exception of London, St. Thomas for some reason, then followed by Nova Scotia, Province of Quebec, Saskatchewan, Montreal, New Brunswick, Calgary, and Edmonton is still in an overheated seller's market. Okay, so that's it for this week. Let me know in the comments, have you been lied to? Were you told the market is going to take off once rate cuts happen? And maybe it did in your area, but generally speaking, how do you feel about that? Let me know in the comments. And until next week, I'll see you then.